I thought for a moment before answering. I think I should keep seeing Dr. Peter. It helps. And I think Trevor needs help too. Real help, not just punishment. The words surprised me as they came out, but I realized I meant them. Judge Peyton smiled slightly. That's very mature of you. She turned to Daisy next, asking her simpler questions about how she felt at home now, if she was scared, if she understood what had happened. Daisy, in her 4-year-old wisdom, said, Trevor is a bad person who made my sister be mean, but she's not mean anymore. She's my best friend again. She beamed at me, revealing the gap where she'd recently lost her first tooth. After the hearing, Judge Peyton issued what she called a disposition order. Virginia explained it to me later as we sat on a bench outside the courthouse. The sun was warm on my face, a contrast to the cold formality inside. I would stay at home with Mom and Daisy, continue therapy, and do community service at an after-school program for younger kids. Trevor would be placed in a juvenile rehabilitation facility for at least 6 months, where he would receive therapy and education. The most important part, though, was that Trevor wouldn't be allowed to contact me or Daisy directly for a long time. If he wanted to come home after his time in the facility, there would be another hearing to determine if it was safe. This news made me feel both relieved and strangely sad. Trevor had been my big brother, my protector, before he became my manipulator. Part of me still missed the person I thought he was. Life slowly started to feel more normal again. I went back to school, though rumors had spread about what happened. Some kids avoided me, whispering behind my back. Others were weirdly interested, asking invasive questions that I refused to answer. My old friends didn't know how to act around me anymore. Mackenzie eventually started saying hello in the hallways, but our friendship was a shadow of what it had been. But I made new friends too. A girl named Winter transferred to our school that fall. She had moved from California and wore clothes that were too light for our Midwestern autumn. She didn't know anything about what had happened, so she just treated me like a normal person. We bonded over both liking the same obscure anime series that none of our other classmates watched. She had blue streaks in her hair and a collection of unusual pins on her backpack. Being around her was like a breath of fresh air. At home, things were different but better. Mom worked less, making sure she was home more often. She had talked to her boss and arranged a more flexible schedule, even though I knew it meant less money. We had dinner together every night, something that rarely happened before. She checked in with both me and Daisy regularly, asking about our days, our feelings, our thoughts. She installed a security system with cameras, which made me feel safer knowing Trevor couldn't just show up unannounced. My community service turned out to be surprisingly rewarding. I helped younger kids with homework and art projects at a community center near our house. At first, I was nervous around the children, afraid I might somehow hurt them. But over time, I realized I was good with kids, patient and creative in ways I hadn't recognized in myself before. There was a little boy named Marcus who reminded me of Daisy, energetic and full of questions. Helping him with his reading became the highlight of my week. Dr. Peter helped me understand the cycle of abuse I had been caught in, how Trevor had been abused by our father before he left, and how he passed that abuse on to me, who passed it to Daisy. Breaking that cycle became my mission. I never wanted to be the person who hurt others again. Hurt people, Dr. Peter told me during one session, but healed people can help heal others. That's the path you're on now. About 4 months after Trevor went to the rehabilitation facility, Mom got a letter from him. She read it privately first, then asked if I wanted to see it. I wasn't sure, but curiosity won out. We sat together at the kitchen table, the envelope between us like a ticking bomb. The letter was short and felt stiff, like he had been forced to write it. The handwriting was recognizably Trevor's, the same angular script that used to appear on birthday cards and Christmas tags. He said he was reflecting on his actions and learning about the harm he had caused. He didn't exactly apologize, but he did say he hoped someday we could have a healthier relationship. I didn't know how to feel about it. Part of me wanted to crumple it up and throw it away. Another part felt a tiny bit of hope that maybe he was actually changing. Mom didn't pressure me to respond, and I decided not to. I wasn't ready to forgive him yet, maybe not ever. That was something Dr. Peter said was okay. Forgiveness isn't always necessary for healing. Sometimes boundaries are more important than reconciliation. As the months passed, I watched Daisy carefully for signs of lasting trauma. Sometimes she had nightmares, calling out in her sleep. I would hear her small voice from across the hall and go to her room, holding her hand until she fell back asleep. Sometimes she got unusually quiet when certain topics came up, like when a character on TV was mean to their sibling. But mostly, she was resilient in that amazing way kids can be. She made friends at preschool, learned to write her name, and developed an obsession with dinosaurs that had her carrying around a stuffed T-Rex everywhere she went. My own healing was slower,